to MTTR Sports. We are here at Wembley Stadium, the home of football. My name is Rahul. We are two of the four members. We're all football business and media students at UCFB, as you can see here. I support Liverpool Football Club.
Arsenal Football Club.
And welcome back to MTTR Sports. We are the other two members of this brilliant channel, live here from Wembley Stadium. My name's Terry.
I'm Tom.
And I support Watford FC.
And I support West Ham.
Now don't forget, Twitter handles are down below, lads, ladies, everyone. Please get on it. We really need your help. Please look desperate. But okay, seriously.
Yeah.
We are students here at UCFB Wembley studying football, business and media. So please like, subscribe, share to all your friends, and hopefully we'll see you in the next video. Hello guys, and welcome back to MTTR Sports. Now today we are doing a special transfer talk. Now we're not going to go into all the boring deals, you've all heard it all before. We're going to talk about one player, one big name who's potentially come to the Premier League. His name, Pierre Emerick Aubameyang. Potentially going to Arsenal for around £60 million is what's being quoted. Now we have the opinions of Arsenal fan, a Dortmund fan and a neutral. Now we're going to get the opinions all three, but let's start with Dortmund because they're the ones who are letting him go. Now how good is Aubameyang really?
Well class.
Really? You go that far?
Yeah.
And he,
to finish top goal scorer in the Bundesliga against, you know, when you're scoring past Neuer week in, week out, Leno, Farman, all great German goalkeepers of course. And obviously Dortmund are not, you know, the biggest of teams, shall we say. They're not expected to win the league every year. But to carry him to cup glory, virtually on his own, obviously, yeah, okay, you have the likes of Pulisic. There was quite a big name last year.
Yeah,
Ousmane Dembele was, of course, the point.
Yeah,
Marco Reus, when he's not injured, I mean, bar Aubameyang and Reus, the rest of the team ain't really world class, really big names. Obviously, they will be. Pulisic could be one of the best Americans of all time, but I personally can't see the deal happening. Who has Dortmund got to bring in? You look at the likes of Giroud. He don't want to leave. He don't want to go to Germany. So.
Right, so let's bring an Arsenal perspective on this, because you've just mentioned Giroud, who could potentially be talked about going to Dortmund, although it does look unlikely. Now, how desperate are Arsenal in this situation? You're willing to spend a huge amount of money to replace a winger with a striker. Now, how does that work tactically? Like, how do you see this working for Arsenal, and how desperate is it to bring him in?
I think there's positive and negatives, because if you let Giroud go, Arsenal will have that focal point. There's not a option B to come off the bench. However, the other option is that Arsenal can go for two strikers. They haven't done that since Bergkamp and Henry. So it could be a new system at Arsenal with a 4-4-2, or you know, Aubameyang can go on the wing, or Lacazette. So yeah, I think Arsenal are desperate. It's been the room's gone for like a month, haven't they? Yeah.
Well, I think just before the window opened. I mean, it's been going on since the summer. If you're totally honest, because obviously Aubameyang said just before the cup final in May that he wanted to leave, and that sparks rumours for all the teams,
yeah.
not just Arsenal, but. He obviously declined his move from China. Obviously, the Chinese team wanted him, but obviously he don't want his final paycheck yet. So,
but one thing that I'm surprised about Arsenal is that they're spending a lot of money for a 29-year-old. I mean, throughout the years, Arsenal have not really done that.
Do you think that's down to Arsene Wenger? I mean, known to be tactically stubborn, but also potentially coming to the end of his career. Now, do you think that it's more he's signing older players because he knows that as a manager he's not going to be there very long and wants to try and bring the success in quicker?
I think you're right there. I think it's for the future as well. Considering he's 29, but then if you look at his goal ratio, how many goals he scored for the Champions League, he's got international experience as well. So I think Arsenal do need him for like a second option, for a backup for Lacazette. I mean, 50 million on Lacazette was a good money spent, but I think Arsenal need a second option as well. I think Giroud, I wouldn't class him as a world class. He's a good option for a second striker, come off the bench, an impact player. I think Aubameyang, I think him and Lacazette will work together, but also in behind. And now Mkhitaryan signed. We can see throughout last 2 years ago, Mkhitaryan and Aubameyang, the link, they played well with him.
That link up was deadly, and I think one thing that if he does go is Arsenal will be getting somebody that don't get injured very often.
Yeah,
he's not known for injuries, but I suppose he is known for kind of bad behaviour, as you've seen at Dortmund in recent months. If he's not happy, he's going to let it known, and he's just going to refuse to play in some ways.
And just want to move on quickly, finally, to the Premier League as a whole hasn't been bringing in as big a names as perhaps the money would suggest.
Yeah.
With Premier League clubs able to outmatch most of those in Europe financially, but yet you don't see the Messis and Ronaldos moving over here. But Aubameyang surely is one of the biggest names in the Bundesliga. Now, Rahul, as a neutral, how do you think this affects the league as a whole, bringing in a player of this stature?
Makes it more attractive. TV rights, obviously, Arsenal, if they do bring him in, the amount of money they could potentially make just of TV rights, kit sales, it's unbelievable. The league in general, we do need more players like him. It will bring a lot more fans into the Premier League. Forget about supporting a team, but people want to watch the league a lot more. And I think every team needs that, with TV deals being quite big these days. You know, every team can just deal with a lot more money. Obviously, transfer market as well. It's the prices are going up since the Neymar deal. So I think players like him, if they do come to Arsenal, it could be beneficial for the whole league rather than just one team.
And also, as a Liverpool fan, race for top four this year, it's hotting up with Chelsea just above you in third, and you've got Arsenal and Tottenham behind you in fifth and sixth. How does this affect your chances? Because if Arsenal sign Aubameyang and they've already added Mkhitaryan, Tottenham have got Harry Kane, who's scoring goals for fun again this year. Are you confident you can hold that fourth position and to get into the Champions League again, despite Coutinho's departure?
With Liverpool, you just don't know right now. That's the sad truth, because you'll beat Manchester City, then you'll go to like the bottom teams, and then you'll basically crumble. So our chances are based on how we perform at each game, because you can't say Liverpool are the best side in the league, but you can't say they're the worst, because when they play against big teams, they seem to be probably the best team in the league. But when you go against the small teams, you just crumble. You don't perform as well. So I think the top four will be tight. I think with Liverpool right now, we're just going through a very bad situation with Coutinho. We haven't managed to replace him, so it will be interesting. But at the same time, we're still in the Champions League. So if we do get knocked out against Porto, that gives us a chance to sort of focus on just the league. If it goes down to that, we will get top four. I can't see us not getting top four, having one game a week or 2 games a week, rather than other teams potentially still being in the FA Cup and then Champions League. So and then the Premier League. So yeah, it will be tight.
Okay, just to round off, I'll ask you 2 quick fire questions. So Mufi, Aubameyang to Arsenal, is it going to happen?
I think so, yeah. But it's right on that day, I think we'll sign.
And do you think it's the right signing for you?
Yeah.
Tom, Aubameyang to Arsenal, do you think it's going to happen?
No.
And if it does happen, is it a good deal for Arsenal?
Top deal for Arsenal if they get him, if they can get Mkhitaryan and Aubameyang working together again as some deadly force.
And Rahul, Aubameyang to Arsenal, do you see it happening?
Yes, but in summer, not now. I don't think they'll.
And if it does happen, do you think it's how good a sign?
Great deal. Big deal for them.
Big statement.
It will help them, yeah.
Okay, and that's where we're going to leave it for today. Thank you for tuning into MTTR Sports. Now, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Please, there's also a little notification bell just to get up to date with all of our new videos as and when we upload. Also, don't forget we have our Twitter handles down below and in the description as well, so don't forget to give us a little follow. And thank you very much for being here, and we will see you on the next video. Cheerio!